Blessings of righteous and beings. My name is Gracie, and I am here today to share with you divine messages. So, I'll just share with you wisdom from divine. So, the reason I'm making this video is because a couple of weeks ago, I was punched in the throat by this energy vampire I live with. He's quite a dark type of energy vampire. He's possessed, and so I ended up having to go to the hospital. Well, he punched me in the throat, and I kicked his ass. So you could tell when someone's possessed. It's like this entity possess the body and then leaves the body. So 1 minute is acting like one person, and next minute is acting like another person. But I had to defend myself, right? Because we're talking about, the grown ass man, huge ass man, possibly in his 50s, right? Punching a little girl. I'm a little girl. I'm not a big girl. So yeah, but good thing I know how to defend myself. So yeah, um, I'll talk about this because this kind of stuff is really, really getting worse for us light workers in this city, to the point where police advise me this is not the kind of city a person with your energy should reside in. So I live in Toronto, Canada, and I went to other cities like Peterborough for work just last week, and I had a conversation with some of the people because they're like, "Oh, where you from?" Like, I guess people like to ask me where I'm from because of my energy. Because every time I'm around people, it's like they find it very mysterious, right? So they're like, "Oh, Toronto's such a bad place. Like, you should move here." But the same behaviors and I've encountered in Toronto, I've honestly encountered there too. So it's not like that's a better place. It is slightly better because it's a lot of nature, but people are the same. I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot of people, low vibrational people in this city, and I think it's just the entire country. I've talked to some people in BC, they say it's worse. A lot of us at work is actually having to leave this country. Most people I know, like myself, are leaving. So, as we're advised. Even the police told me themselves, because like, I remember encountering these two police officers who were like, "You're like us." And they were trying to keep it on the hush hush, like, but they're like, this city is not a place for you. Like, we're safe because we're under the police, right? Of course, I'm a protected person with the police, right? They registered me as a protected person, but still, that's not enough protection. Being in a city like this, I mean, there's stuff that I encounter on a daily basis: the spell work, the verbal abuse, the physical abuse, and these are people who are just like neighbors in their own apartment or people that I live around, right? And they want to have exert that much control, power, and manipulation over. It's not power, but control and manipulation and abuse over energy. It's ridiculous. That is the reason why I've started making these videos, because I originally came to this city to help people how to have their own energy, right? To help people heal their trauma, right? And sharing energy was partially something I was supposed to do in the beginning, because a lot of them lack, good energy, right? They're very much in low vibration, so they don't feel great. So in the beginning, that is something that you do, right? Try to uplift humanity. Yes, you share energy with them. Of course, there's boundaries. There's certain people who cross the line, right? They want to take energy from places they're not supposed to be taking. I don't allow that, because at the end of the day, you're destroying somebody's body, somebody's alignment, somebody's balance. So, of course, like, I would allow them to have access to my aura, right? Which is the normal way of doing things. But these people started crossing the line. These people get greedy, and they think if they take from certain places, they're going to have stability, they're going to get rich, especially if the person has a certain type of energy. So things kind of got out of hand. And I noticed as time goes by, the vibration in this city is getting worse and worse and worse, lower and lower and lower and lower. And the behaviors are worsening. It gets worse and worse and worse. So, as I was saying, when I first came to this city, I was met with treachery. um, there was a group of people I was around, and they would always warn me when I go to the gym. They'll be like, "Be careful, these people are demons." And I was always wondering, why are they saying these people are demons? I was kind of like partially awake, partially asleep. right? Because there was a lot of work being done on me, a lot of black magic being done on me to try to keep me like in a trance, like under control, right? There were people trying to do that to me. Like it's been groups of people working on me for a very long time, and so partially I was aware of what was going on, but somehow not fully aware. And in this city, people are always hunting for energy, right? So for me, it was like because of my strength, people were not really able to notice what my aura really looked like, right? Because I was covered. When you have like um, black magic being done on you, you know, you're not cleansing it, clearing it, right? Your aura is kind of is tinted, right? So people are not able to see you for who you really are, or they're not able to really see your full aura. So I've been under that covering for a while, but the thing was I had a lot of strength. So these people in the gym, because they noticed me from the gym, they noticed I worked out very hard, and they like it's like I don't know if they like, but it's I think they liked it and they wanted. The thing is, the people I encountered, right, were men that were quite what you call that word where men hate women, misogynistic. So they wanted to have some sort of control over me, right? So one of the guys tried to have like a sexual relationship with me, and I turned him down nice. I was like, no, sorry, I'm just here to you know quickly get a workout. I won't be here long. I'm not in that position to be dating or anything like that, because I was going through a healing process, both emotional and physical trauma. I had a surgery, right? It was on my hip, so I was not in no position to be dating, because like you're self-conscious at that time. You're not sure, you're not really um so sure about yourself, like your confidence, your self-esteem is somewhat affected, because I wasn't even sure that I was walking properly. Like I was very like self-conscious, so I just wanted to be left alone. But I was very polite the way I turned this guy down. But I don't think these guys are used to being, they used to people turning them down. So I guess I shouldn't have turned him down. And that's when the war began. So when I turned him down, these guys started talking. I remember hearing them having a conversation. Because I was like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in anything right now. I'm just here to get a quick workout, and I'm gonna be leaving in an hour. Like this is how I do all the time I come here for just an hour, and then I quickly get out. I'm not in a position for the relationship at this point. They took that as an offense. Then they said, I remember hearing them now. We'll show her. She wants to be in here shining by herself. I'm like, shining by myself? What the hell do they mean, shining by myself? Because I guess I worked hard. They wanted to get the same attention as I get. It was so weird because I was still walking with crutches sometimes, but of course I was jacked. Naturally, I just have a belt body, and that time I was a little bit like I had a little bit more weight on, so I looked very jacked. And when you walk with crutches for a long time, your arms tend to like your shoulders are broad, right? And with the strength, I guess I was getting a lot of attention. So they wanted the same thing. They thought that maybe if they hang out with me, they would get the same attention. Somehow they affiliate themselves with me. But I didn't even take it that way. I was going through hell. I just left an abusive situation overseas, and I was in Canada hoping to just start my life again. I was going through healing, not knowing there was a battle. I was that was going to be added to that bullshit I was facing prior, right? So they're like, yeah, we'll show her, we'll show her. The very next day, gang stalking everywhere, defamation of character, slander, you name it. All because I turned down one dude. These were like Russians, and they spread all these rumors. Oh, she's an anti-Semitist because I refused to shake hands with one of the guys. The guy who everybody feared. His name was Nick, and I don't know what like. If for some reason, whenever he enters the room, everybody was afraid of him. Everybody would like whatever he says, they would do. If he says lick the floor, I swear they would lick the floor. That's how much power he had of those people. Not power, control, because that's not power. It's not true power. It's control, right? So these people knew what I was here for. And I remember the people who wanted me, oh, these are demons, these are demons, these are demons. They had to find a way of trying to block what I was supposed to do, right? So these people, when this demonic type of people, they have like monitoring spirits that are like alert them on who you are, what your purpose is. They knew I was here to uplift humanity. They knew I was here to teach these people about having their own energy, to enlighten these people, to help these people heal their trauma. And that is what they wanted to block. That is why they had to gang stalk me for 10 years straight, right? And in that process, I remember the first couple of weeks they gang stalked me. I was like, should I just give in? And my intuition kept saying, no, stand your ground. Let me tell you, this is, I would walk in a room and everybody in that room is attacking me. Everywhere I went, at the school, at the grocery store, at the gym, on the bus. Nobody would want to sit next to me. I was treated like this gross, like creature, like, slimy creature. Like, it was terrible. But this is what happens when, you know, earth angels, light workers encounter demons. These demons go hard trying to destroy a mission. And you have to stand your ground. And I'll tell you, like, anytime I'll walk in, for example, if I walk into Walmart, everyone around me is gang stalking me. This is to show you how low vibration this city is if everyone is participating in it. Because it's a demon that corrupts the body. It body hops, right? So they release these demons, and these demons enter the bodies and they corrupt the bodies, the human vessels. Now, if the vessel, the body is a dirty vessel, it has trauma in it, unhealed trauma, because that is negative energy in itself. It attaches itself, right? Because it's like a magnet, negative and negative, right? And a bind. So the person starts acting the way the demon wants him to act, right? And then they're attacking you for no reason. They don't even know why they're doing what they're doing, right? So each time I had to go into different places. Each time I would go into these places, I would raise vibration. And this is what these people also hated. That particular group of people that gang stalked me. They wanted to keep the people under mind control, right? So they saw me as an obstacle. If they couldn't have control over me through maybe a relationship or whatever the hell it is that they wanted with me, it was going to be difficult to keep me around, right? So it's either I succumb to their wants or their needs, or they harass me and chase me out. So I would go into those gyms, they would kick me out. I would go into another gym, they would kick me out. I would go to the school, they would want me out. They just wanted, so it's like the only place that I would actually stay was, in my house, in my room. That's why I'm not getting gang stalked. To keep me away pretty much from the population. Right? Because as light workers, our job is to uplift humanity. So I was supposed to be teaching people in this country how to clean up their energy, how to have because they have their own energy. But a lot of them, they don't know how to activate their own energy, right? So they depend on other people. It's a codependency thing, right? And they need to break free of that codependency. I was supposed to show them all that, but I was blocked from doing that. So then in the in the last couple of years, right after the whole entire gang stalking scenario and whatever the hell they would try to do to me, the only thing I could do with them was share energy with them. But at this point, it's kind of like too late because those people had a plan of getting these so-called dark vampires to attack me. They wanted those things to feed off of me so that they could make me weaker and destroy me. I remember hearing these plans. They'll talk about this stuff in the gym. Oh, we're gonna get those dark vampires to attack her and destroy her life. Yeah, she'll see, she'll see. Ah, ha, ha, ha. They'll laugh about it. And there were people who were like, I remember one guy, I think his name was Fabio, he was Brazilian, he was Nick's friend. He would always tell Nick, like, dude, she hasn't done anything wrong. Like, just let her go. But because that guy is so demonic, he was hell bent on taking me down. Like, this is one guy. I remember, I'll never forget that guy. He was Brazilian. He was the only person who would try to say something to him, like, dude, like, just forget about it. Whatever. She hasn't done anything wrong to you. So why do you hate her like that? He was the only person who stood up for me. Nobody else spoke anything. Nobody else said anything. Then now the things that they wanted to attack me are after me, so I can't share energy with the city anymore. My energy constantly runs whenever it has to because my guides are trying to protect me. So nobody can have access to energy. Right? Because what these things tried to do before was try to bind my energy and keep my energy from me. Right? I guess trying to awaken me, trying to destroy me. Before they tried to take my energy out of my body, they were doing all these sacrificial spells, death spells, whatever it is that they were trying to do. That was last year when the police got involved. They failed. So now it's a whole campaign. There's a group of them. They follow me around the city, gang stalk me in the train, gang stalk me all the way to work, right? And then before some of my coworkers were good, and then they started getting jealous because of my work ethics. They started participating in that bullshit too. A lot of them are on the dark side. They participate in these very dark things. They're thinking that if they do the same things, they're gonna get richer faster. They're gonna have a lot of energy. Unfortunately, that's not the case. With me comes a lot of karma. You know how it is at the angels. Anybody fucks with us are going down. But that's what it is. So at the end of the day, I guess it's partially that karma too, because if an entire city is going to participate in that, grown people who can't even question themselves, what am I doing? Why am I attacking somebody who hasn't done anything wrong to me? Somehow they're a willing participant. Yeah, they were corrupted, but because they don't take the responsibility to cleanse themselves or to do the healing work, right? At a grown age. I mean, it's a kid, yeah, you understand. But each one of us is called at a certain age, right, to do a healing work. I remember when I was younger, I was being shown certain things, right, to get rid of friends who weren't there for my highest good, right, to draw closer to the divine, to do my healing work. I'm not perfect. Most of the times I discarded that. I was like, oh, well, you know what? Like, I wouldn't even listen to my guides when they're trying to alert me in certain things. But as years went by, I finally say, hey, you know what? I'm going to have to do what I have to do to better my life. That's when I went into spirituality, right? Heal my trauma, get myself to be a better person, right? Eat clean, cleanse my energy. Of course, I've always had an aura that is, vibrant, right? But you have to maintain it, right? You have to want better for yourself. And if you want good energy, you gotta cleanse your energy. So a lot of these people are called to do that, but they ignore it. So yeah, there's that lack of accountability on their side as well. But before I leave the city, I'm gonna try one more time to make these videos. If anybody sees them and they wanna watch and learn on what they have to do to better themselves, then good. If they don't, it's our issue. I have nothing to do with it. I did my best to try and help, but I was always shut down. So that's that. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. That's my little story about my fucked up experience in the fucking city of Toronto. Thank you. Have a good night.